A man is only as strong as his weakest link. This is what your body will tell you when it comes to exercise. Sure, if you train hard enough, you can build some muscle strength even in your weaker body parts. But there are limits. For example, no matter how much you bench press, you're never going to be able to curl 500 pounds, simply because the muscles and tendons connecting your arms to your body aren't built to handle that kind of stress without tearing apart. It's just not physically possible for the human body to curl that kind of weight. Now, this is also true for endurance athletes, but for an entirely different reason. You can't outcrunch a shit diet. You can't outswim a shit diet. And you can't outbike a shit diet either. Even though we often think about fitness as having different components like strength, power, speed, endurance, flexibility, and whatnot, it's all built upon the same foundation, which is your ability to digest and utilize food, aka, in fact, if you look at any elite athlete, no matter what their sport is, they have one thing in common: an outstanding physique with very little body fat. The best way to get the physique of an athlete is to eat like one. You see, athletic performance isn't just about being fit or having high levels of any single component of fitness. Athletic performance is about efficiency and effectiveness. In other words, it's about getting the most bang for your buck. So instead of focusing on building separate components of fitness, which ultimately gives you a mediocre level of overall athleticism, we should aim to build our bodies into machines that are more efficient and effective. And the first step to doing that is by looking at the weakest link, which is your diet. If you want to learn how to get the physique of an athlete, then listen up. The mistake most people make when trying to lose weight or gain muscle is that they focus on the wrong things, like counting calories, eating frequent meals, taking protein shakes, etc. Instead, we need to focus on the two main pillars of nutrition, which are macronutrients, fats, carbs, and proteins, and micronutrients, vitamins and minerals. Without these two foundations, you won't get very far. For example, if you're young and trying to gain muscle, your primary goal should be to eat as much protein as possible within a reasonable calorie surplus. But most people don't do that. They try to lose weight while gaining muscle at the same time, which is why they don't make any progress. But that's not where it ends. You see, we need to remember that athletes don't simply eat more than the average person. They also eat better. To understand this, let's take a look at a high school football player who weighs about 200 pounds. Let's say he eats 3 meals a day. That's roughly 9,000 calories. Now, let's take a basketball player who also weighs 200 pounds. He might eat 4 meals a day, which is roughly 12,000 calories. But here's where things get interesting. Both players are very active, so they burn a lot of calories. But the football player burns off about 6,000 calories during practice, and the basketball player burns off 4,000 calories. This means that both players eat the exact same amount of food, but the football player is left with a calorie surplus of 3,000 calories per day, while the basketball player is left with a calorie deficit of 2,000 calories. As you can see, despite eating the same amount of food, the football player is likely to gain muscle, whereas the basketball player is likely to lose body fat. So clearly, it's not just about eating a lot. We need to pay attention to the quality of food we eat as well. In this case, the football player would be considered a strength athlete, and the basketball player would be considered an endurance athlete, and their diets would reflect that. For example, the strength athlete would primarily eat foods that help him gain muscle, such as protein-rich foods like chicken thighs, beef and fish, carbohydrates for energy like rice, sweet potatoes and oats, and healthy fats like olive oil and avocados. On the other hand, the endurance athlete would primarily eat foods that help him maintain his physique while playing sports, such as lean proteins like chicken breast and fish, complex carbohydrates for energy like brown rice and quinoa, and low-fat dairy products like Greek yogurt and cottage cheese. Ultimately, the key to getting the physique of an athlete is to focus on whole, unprocessed foods that are high in nutrients and low in calories. That means filling your plate with plenty of fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and complex carbohydrates. These are the foods that will fuel your body and help you achieve your goals. It's also important to note that the type of training you do will affect your diet as well. For example, if you lift weights, you'll need to eat more protein to help repair and build muscle tissue. If you run long distances, you'll need to eat more carbohydrates to fuel your body. But this still doesn't answer the question of how many meals should I eat? And that's a great question. There's no one-size-fits-all. But research has shown that eating between 3 and 6 meals per day is fine, as long as you're getting the same amount of calories. For example, eating 6 smaller meals throughout the day can help you feel fuller for longer and prevent overeating at meal times. Ultimately, it's important to find what works best for you in your lifestyle. Just remember to focus on quality over quantity, and you'll be on your way to achieving your goals. Now, there are also certain supplements that can help you reach your goals faster. Protein powder, for example, can be a great way to get more protein into your diet, especially if you're finding it difficult to eat enough protein-rich foods. Creatine, on the other hand, is a supplement that can help you increase your strength and power output during exercise. However, it's important to note that supplements are not a magic bullet, and they should not replace a well-planned diet and training program. That being said, they can be a valuable addition to your overall plan, especially if you're serious about improving your physique and performance. Ultimately, the key to getting the physique of an athlete is to focus on what you put into your body. By following the tips above, you'll be able to fuel your body with the nutrients it needs to look and perform its best. Remember, it's not about shortcuts or quick fixes. It's about making sustainable changes to your diet and training regimen that'll help you achieve your goals and keep you looking like an athlete for years to come. Now, even though proper nutrition is essential, you still have to train properly. And if you want to know how to train for athleticism, then I'll recommend you check out this video here. Remember, the only bad workout is the one that didn't happen. So get out there and start training. Also, if you want a done-for-you program that will allow you to skip all the typical trial and error, then head on over to our site where we have programs designed to help you maximize muscle growth, strength, and athletic performance. Our programs come with a full video exercise library, a customizable diet plan that fits your preferences, and an accountability coach to guide you through the entire process. To find out more, you can click the link below in the description, or you can head straight on to our website. I'll see you guys soon.